A way to beat them. That's the number one thing. We've been in close games with them. We've done good in the first half against Florida State, but we haven't been able to close it out in the second half or the fourth quarter. Both of them do an amazing job with their programs and recruiting and developing players. So we've got to try to, match that. And I feel like we're right there. I feel like when you look at our two games with Clemson, one came down to the ball on the 1 yard line and we missed a field goal. So it's been competitive, but like I said, it's our job to get over the hill and find a way to win.
As a conference, they carry the flag with playing and winning international titles. Is that a good thing for the conference, or would it be a better thing to have more parity at the top?
Well, I think it's a very good thing for the conference. We know that if we can beat Clemson and beat Florida State, that now we're ready for the playoffs and we're ready for the other teams because they've been able to get their way to the national championship game. And also the competition that you have within the ACC makes you better, prepares you as the year goes on. So I think it's a great thing for a conference.
How did you feel about having Florida State and Clemson bunched up so close together on your schedule?
Yeah, what you do is you just get the schedule and you go play it. Nobody would listen if you complain, so don't complain about it. You might not understand it or know what people are thinking, but it is what it is. So we're just going to really work hard for our first game, but understand that we need to play good early in the year. And in having those games so close together and early in the year, we'll do some different things in camp. We'll do than we would if they were later in the year.
Like what?
Like dealing with noise and crowd noise, conditioning harder earlier in camp so we're ready to peak. And sometimes if you play an easier early schedule, you don't condition as much early in camp, you do it more later. So it's kind of just preparing the body for the grind that's ahead of them. And we've always done a good job in November because we cut back practice and we believe in being fresh mentally and physically. So we got to make sure we time it out for these two games.
When you first came across Lucas Petrino, what were your impressions of him?
Well, I first started recruiting him and I went up and watched him practice in basketball. And there's a big 6'7" guy that could jump up and get above the rim, had great hand-eye coordination, and was just a great competitor. He played hard every play in practice. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed the collisions. He threw a few elbows in there. And really, he's probably our most aggressive, our toughest guy right now on the offensive line. He came in last year and we moved him in position because we felt like we had to. So he was actually playing out of position at guard. He's back at tackle now, and I think he'll have a great career ahead of him.
Was he a late bloomer? Were people kind of getting on him late in the recruiting process?
I really don't know that. He was when I got the job, he was on the list that they had spoke to and talked to. When I first talked to him, he was interested in a couple other schools. We were able to get him down on campus and him understand how close to home it was. And, he's had some issues with family, and he really felt like this was the best fit for him, and certainly was great for us.
Coach, talk about some of the other linemen and some of the guys. You got some guys back, but also some guys that didn't play last year that you helped out.
Yeah, when you look at the offensive line, Jaron Christian, played tackle for us every game as a true freshman, and he's got great ability. He's a real student of the game. I think he can be a real special player. Keola Mahoney played guard for us. He came from a junior college. He did not get to be early. We knew it was going to take him a little bit of time to get ready. And by the last part of the season, he was playing real well and was a real force in the run game for us. And he's a very tough, competitive guy. So him and Lucas playing next to each other is a good match. And then Kenny Thomas was another true freshman who started on the O-line. Now, in all of my years of coaching, there's only been one other true freshman start on the O-line, and we were starting two. So those two guys are very talented and good players. We still have some work to do on developing the depth, though.
You had Kenny at tackle for a lot of last year, and now he's going to play guard for.
He'll do both.
Yeah.
You know, he'll do both. He'll be a tackle and guard, playing the same side, be able to either win a starting job or rotate and provide depth at both of them. He's a really good kick sliding at tackle, and his size and girth that he has allows him to block the big, hard 3 techniques that you have to play against. So physically, he can play both.
The time you've had here at Louisville, how far along are you in building the kind of roster you want to compete?
Yeah, I think we're there. I think we're there this year. When you look at the depth that we have, we'll be able to redshirt some of the freshmen that come in now. They're going to compete for spots in camp. There's even possibilities some of the freshmen that played last year could redshirt this year. So you're able to really build upon it. Whereas, because of the seniors that we had my first year there, we were 23 seniors, and I think 4 juniors came out. So it was like you lost, a whole roster. So you had to play guys young last year, but we won't be that way this year.
Does that give you added confidence then for 2016 compared to last year?
Confidence? Yeah, I think we got a confident team. Yeah, I think our team, the way we finished the season, and the guys we have coming back, and the way they work with each other, they're very confident.
Along those same lines, very few programs have lost more top-tier talent to the NFL. What did it mean for your program when Keith, Josh, and Devontae all decided to come back?
That was one of our biggest recruiting jobs. There's no question about that. I know Keith had a real hard decision on it. Obviously, he could have went either way. He did want to get his degree. That's important to him. And he decided to come back and lead our team, And Josh had the opportunity he could have came out, but he only played 1 year after sitting a year. So we felt like that his best opportunity was to come back, get another good season under his belt, get his degree completed, so then he can go in. And that was really important to his grandfather and his family, that he get his degree in his pocket.
Seems Lamar Jackson under center this year. I mean, we're going to see more of that, so you can get into some play action, get the run game going a little bit more than you did early last year with the running backs. Is that going to
Yeah, definitely. What we did last year is when you look at a true freshman quarterback that's played mostly all shotgun, we felt like, okay, the quickest way that we can get him on the field is to not even make him go under the center. Just work from the shotgun, work from the pistol, and then we'll try to develop it as we go on.
Right.
During the bowl practices, we went back to our normal teaching progression. We put him under the center. The best thing about Lamar being under the center is that there's never been an issue with him taking a snap.
Right.
So he can take the snap. Now it's just all about footwork and getting where he belongs to help the run game and the play action pass. And he worked hard at it then. He worked hard at it in spring. I've got all the confidence in the world that he can do it.
I think he had 160 rushing attempts last year. Is there a number that you'd like to keep him under, or talk about just how much you want him to run?
Yeah, one of the things that you try to do is utilize your talents, utilize your abilities. That's certainly one of his. So we will utilize that. One of the things about quarterbacks is it's hard to measure how many rushes you can have, because some of it is when things break down, or plays break down, or protections break down, and you just use your ability and go make a play. We'll probably look and keep account on maybe the called runs, but he's a competitor, and when the game's on the line, he wants the ball in his hand. He doesn't get hit hard because he's quick. He's one of the fastest and quickest guys on the field, so we haven't seen him take too many hard hits. So that's a good thing.
Coach, you talked about improving in this setting. Talk about getting him some help. Getting him some help to be more comfortable, and he said he feels at home now.
Yeah, he's threw him in the spotlight as a player, and I could have easily said, okay, he's just a sophomore, let's leave him at home. Don't put any pressure on him to come to media days. But I really feel like he's going to be one of our marquee players, going to be the face of our program for a while, and he needed to come and experience this and enjoy it, have a smile on his face. and to enjoy something, you got to learn to have confidence with them. So we started working on it, and you saw him in spring. And he improved there. He improved over the summer. It was fun that he was up at 5 o'clock this morning, ready for the plane, which was actually a little earlier than I got out of the bed. So I was excited that he had called Andy Wagner early this morning and was ready to go with some excitement and energy. And that's what Lamar is. He's a guy that enjoys life. I can be yelling at him and he'll smile at me, and he just enjoys it. And he's a tremendous competitor, and he's got a lot of confidence.
How much understanding the game the biggest thing for him? Where does he have to grow the most?
Well, he's really grown in understanding the game. That's what the off season was all about, was being more of a student, learning it more, being precise with his footwork in the drop back pass game, and then being a leader. And he's done all three of the things that we've asked him to do, and I think he's done a good job of it. Now it's time to come out and play, and I know he's excited to do that.
How much does it help to have veteran quarterbacks elsewhere in your program?
A lot. Kyle Bolin is a very important part of our football team. Kyle's been able to come in off the bench and win big games for us. He's been able to start and win games for us. Him and Lamar have a great relationship where they push each other, they trust each other, they cheer for each other. I think that's one of the fun things that you saw when Kyle was playing. Lamar was the first guy to greet him when he came off the field. And in the bowl game, when Lamar came off the field, Kyle was the first guy there talking to him and helping him. And they have a special relationship. So, I know that every player on our football team respects Kyle Bolin for his ability to play the position, his competitive spirit.
Coach, Keith was saying when it comes to the Atlantic.
It's a bright light there, no?
Yeah. When it comes to the Atlantic, you've got the FSUs and Clemsons, etc. It says that you guys are going to play with a chip on your shoulder. Is it as simple as you got to beat those programs to take the next step?
No, it's not as simple as that, because you got everybody else out there too. I think that's the fun thing about the ACC is every team that we play has very good players. They're very well coached, and every week it's competitive. And you got to prepare hard, and you got to be able to come and perform at a high level each week. Certainly, Clemson and Florida State have been to the national championship game, and there you have to shoot to beat them. But you have to take care of all your business if you're going to be able to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
Bobby, Lamar just said that there were times last year he just was out there, he had no idea what he was doing, staring down receivers, just kind of took off and did something. When you watched film on him, how many times did you notice that he was kind of freewheeling out there?
Yeah, you didn't really have to watch film to notice it. There would be times when you'd say, he had no idea that play, did he? And he would just look around and then find somebody to throw the ball to. The good thing now is he really understands the concepts. He can sit down, you can give him a play, and he can draw up every route and where everybody's at, know his progression versus this coverage, know his progression versus that coverage. And that's why you see the confidence in the spring game and the confidence throughout spring practice, is because he can picture it. And that's really, as a quarterback, what you do is you receive the play, whether it's by a signal or whatever else, and as you're receiving the play, you're picturing the formation, the routes, everything. And then you give it to your teammates, and you're doing it again, and then you play it. So you actually get to play the play twice before you actually snap the ball. And I know that he can do that now.
Is there still a fair amount of growth to come in that area for him?
Sure, we're going to keep putting more plays in. That's the one thing you do is you keep challenging them and mold the offense around them. But I think he understands how to do it now. That's one of the things that even our high school students that come in, the first thing we have to do is teach them how to study. How you go about taking notes, what note cards you use, how you do an online class. So it was no different than that. We were just teaching them how to learn the game and how to study the game and know what the defenses are doing pre-snap, knowing what the linebacker movements are, to whether it's man or zone coverage. There was a lot to learn.
he's not the only one on the offense that gained experience last year. How might you attack defenses differently, or what kind of growth do you expect for the offense because of all the experience that him and the linemen and the receivers got last year?
Yeah, you're right. We get to expand the package a little bit. Our players will continue to get better on an individual basis because a lot of them are stronger, more athletic, bigger or lighter, depending on what their need was by being in the program for a year or two. So we expect our offense to be more consistent. I need to get, and our offense needs to get to the point where every time we take the field, we expect to go score. That's the tradition at Louisville offense is when you step on the field, you expect to go score.
What did you think of the offensive line this spring? Improvements they may have made, and then sort of your expectations for how much better they could be overall freshman?
Yeah, we made a lot of strides. We made a lot of strides. We didn't have the assignment errors that come with experience, which allows you to utilize your technique, and you're not thinking. You know the play, you know your assignment. Now I can go play fast. And one of the things you try to do is be a fast football team, and it doesn't all correlate to your 40 time. It correlates to really having an understanding of what we're doing and what the defense is doing, so that you don't hesitate. And last year, with inexperience comes hesitation and uncertainty, so you're not able to go all out and play at a fast, consistent level. We should be able to do that this year. I expect us to do that.
Coach, Lamar was talking about not playing with the playbook in high school. So over the last few years, how has he developed in terms of reading, reacting to you guys' playbook?
He's getting better at it. We just talked about that. So he's doing a good job. He's learned a lot, and he works hard at it. I think that's the first stage, is to be able to work hard at it. He knows how to do it now, and I think he'll do a good job for us.
Bobby, given your NFL background, I'm curious your thoughts on how Deshaun Watson potentially plays in the NFL game in the future, and how this game would play out there.
I mean, when I watch him, he looks like an NFL quarterback to me. He can really make the throws. He can throw the ball deep down the field. He can buy time and run the ball. He can buy time and throw the ball. And he's got great instincts and vision. So he certainly looks like he definitely can play in the NFL to me.